My name is Paul Anderson, and I'm here to tell you a story.
Your world, your goals, your interests, your challenges, what is it that's going to add value to your world in the next 43 minutes to be able to give you the ability to be a better version of what you are today, tomorrow? To improve your profitability, to improve your leadership, your business, your personal lives. I'm going to challenge some of you to think a little bit differently, to think a little bit more deeply if you're already thinking some of the ways that we're going to go over. And what we're going to share is emotional connection and human-to-human interaction in every element of your life, whether it be someone you're leading, whether it be a customer that's coming through your door. But how do you make that interaction so priceless that they go away and they're talking about that experience, or they're working harder, or they're staying later, or they're coming in early?
The success that I've had in my life is all about adding value to the other person, focusing on their interests, what is going to be right for them in the end without me wanting any result from it other than them to be gaining from the interaction, how to create the experience with that person. And the books that I've written have been reinforcing that, really. It's just reinforcing and teaching some very simple elements, again, that help to support better communication and help to drive more value to somebody once they've read it, to be able to help more people.
It's all about people. The interaction that you're having with people and the culture that you're creating is what's pulling people towards people and wanting them to do business. In other words, customers, leaders, all those elements, leaders, subordinates, direct reports, customers, suppliers, all this is all down to human interaction. I'm hoping that some of you who are already doing a great job might look at something like this and go, wow, there's a framework there that gives me the ability to measure where I'm being successful and where I'm not, or to start incorporating something that I hadn't realized was helping to improve success by now enlightening you on some of these principles.
He comes into companies, and when they have a good culture, he helps them take it to the next level, that culture of excellence. When they really need some help with shifting their culture, this is where he really shines. I can't recommend Paul highly enough. Bring him into your next company convention or conference, and you'll be glad you did.
So culture is a really interesting topic when we talk about it because it has a value. If you have businesses that you're wanting to increase your value, then culture, your values, your principles are one element that's going to help to improve the profitability of your company. But it's not just going to do that. It's actually going to also reinforce why people are going to want to do business with you. Sharing your values, your principles, aligning those values and principles with the companies that you want to attract to your company is the most powerful thing you can do in today's world of bringing people together and actually improving your business and the progression of your business. So not just sharing them on the wall, but living by them. People want to do business with companies that truly live by those values. So if you've got them on the wall and there is a consistency and congruency, then that is something that is going to pull people towards you. People want to know, who are you nowadays? People care about how they feel. They won't always remember what you said, they won't always remember what you did, but they'll always remember how you've made them feel. Think of the last time someone made you feel really bad. You remember that, right? So the idea is, how do you increase your ability to make people feel so good that when they walk away from an interaction, they start talking to other people about the interaction? Because if they don't, then we know that they're going to leave your company if they're an existing employee, or they're not going to want to come back to you. But what we do also know is that over 80%, in fact 86% of people will pay more for a good experience. So if over 80% of people will leave because of a bad experience, and over 80% of people will actually pay more for a good experience, I think it makes sense to talk about experiences. Now, how can you improve the experience of somebody that's interacting with your company? The greatest negotiators in the world, the greatest leaders in the world, the greatest salespeople in the world are all laser focused on how they can add value to the other person. So they're talking to the other person, they're learning more about the other person, they're questioning the other person, they're understanding the needs, wants, and desires of the person that they're interacting with. And when you do that, you start to pull people towards you because, again, you're acknowledging somebody. Gosh, this person's really thinking about me. How you're making someone feel is the epitome of your influence. That's why with leadership, when you're making your people that you're leading feel good, then you get commitment, not compliance, that I've shared earlier. And more importantly, when you're doing it to a customer, you're attracting a hidden flow of energy where they're attracting them, like you're attracting them to you because you're actually focusing on them.
Always wanted to add value. As sort of as cheesy as that might sound, just add value to the experience that you're having with anyone that you're interacting with and doing what's right. It makes you feel good and reinforces your commitment to do more in the world and establish more for people than when you first met them. So genuinely, that was like from a kid, really.
You know, there's a different way to get a result that is focusing on humanity, that has tended to get much faster results and much more profitable results through loyalty and commitment of employees, not just compliance of employees. And commitment will take you much further than compliance ever will. There's no faster, more effective way than to elicit those feelings of trust than by focusing on the other person, reinforcing that you have their back. Think about the highest level of trust that you can reinforce in an interaction or that you have in your world today is potentially who? Spouse. Spouse or your parents, right? So how quickly do you get that level of trust with someone you're interacting with is going to determine the outcome.